Hi everybody, here is Thursday's maths lesson and it's the final video lesson of this term. So thank you so much for joining in and thank you for sharing your work with me. I think we have been going for 6 weeks now. I think I've worked out that I may have completed 30 video lessons or maybe 35. So I just wanted to say I've been so impressed with the work. I've seen you've done so well working at home. And I just want to wish you all the loveliest, funnest summer holiday possible. And good luck to those of you who are moving up to Year 7 and starting secondary school in September. I know that you'll enjoy it and you'll do well. And well done Year 5 for taking part, and I look forward to working with you again next year. So today we're going to have one final starter on angles, and then I'm just going to do a tutorial video on long division, as I think some of you wanted to practice once more. So, oh, it's a bit sad. Let's get started. Now, let me get it on the right screen. So here's the starter task for today. Today we're focusing on right angles. Right angles are always what size? 90 degrees. So what I'd like you to do is I'd like you to work out the missing angle on each of these right angles. So you will just need to work out what do you add to 35 to get to 90. So press pause and complete this task. Right, I'm going to reveal my answers. Let me know if you made a mistake. Let me know how you got on. Share your work with me on this final maths lesson. Now, going to go through long division. So this is a Year 6 objective. Some of you Year 5s may have seen this method before, but you might not be familiar with it, so don't worry, as we're going to do lots of this in Year 6, and if you're Year 6 you'll continue to practice it in Year 7, okay, but you all might want to watch because it'll be good to just have a reminder or a first sneak peek before you start Year 6 if you're Year 5. So there are 2 ways of completing long division calculations. So I'm just going to show you the methods. So 718 divided by 19, you still set it up like you would for short division. So 718 here, 19 over here. Now the first method I'm going to show you is chunking. So chunking involves you writing down known facts at the side. So I always start with multiplying by 10. So I do 19 multiplied by 10 is 190. And then I normally do 20, depends on how large the number is. Basically, these known facts, you don't want any facts that are larger than the amount you're dividing because you won't be able to use them. So I did by 10 is 190, by 20 is 380, so I just doubled. Then I thought I'd write down 5 lots, so I just halved 10 lots, I got 95. Then I didn't really know what else to do, so I thought I'd just stop and I thought I'd start. So chunking means you take off chunks from the total. So always take off the biggest chunk that you can first. So this is what I mean. So first of all, I subtracted 380. At the side, in brackets, I've put multiplied by 20, because that means I've taken away 20 lots of 19. So I do my subtraction. 718 take away 380. So I do my subtraction like I normally would. And I've got 338 left. So the aim is to get either to 0 or to a number that's less than 19. So I've got to keep going. So 338. So I look at my chunk list. Right, I can't do 380 again because I haven't got enough. So I'm going to take away 190. So I set it up like this. Take away 190. and I put at the side how many lots of 19 that is, so that's 10 lots. And then I see that I've got 148 left. Okay, so I've got to keep going. I'm not near 0 yet. So I look at my list, I think, right, I can't take away 190 or 380. I've not got enough. So I'm going to take away 95. So I set it up, and notice how it's got to be really neat, otherwise you'll make a mistake. So you've got to keep the place value columns lined up. So I take away 95, and I write down at the side what chunk I've taken away. And I've got 53 left. Right, now I haven't got any chunks at the side which I can take away from 53. So I think I'm going to start to write down multiples of 19. 19, 38, 57. So I'm going to have to take away 38 because I haven't got enough for 57. So I take away 38, which is 2 lots, and then I get 15 left. Now, I said before that you finished when you either get to 0 or when you get to a number less than the divisor. So because I've got 15, I can't make any more groups, so 15 is the remainder. Now, to work out the final answer, you need to add up the chunks and then put your remainder on. So the final answer is 20, add 10, add 5, add 2, 37, remainder 15. So that's the chunking method. I'll now show you the other way to do it. So same question, so we need to get the same answer. This is a method which I think most people prefer, but there's no better method, it's just your preference. So for this method, before you start, you write down multiples of the divisor. So in school, we partition it because I wouldn't expect you to know your 19 times table. I'd expect you to all go 19, 38, so it's quicker to do this way. Now in a test, we only write down 4 lots because then we can add to it later. We don't want to waste our time. So I write down my multiples of 10, I write down my multiples of 9, and then I add them together. This is so important that you line the digits up carefully because if you don't, can't move them on it, if you don't, you're going to get your multiples incorrect. So my multiples of 19 are 19, 38, 57, 76, so on. So with this method, this is how you do it. First of all, you look at 71. So you just look at the 2 digits. And you say to yourself, how many groups of 19 can I make out of 71? So you look at your list. So you can make 3 groups out of 71. You can't make 4 groups because you haven't got enough. So what you do next is you place 3 on the top to show that you've made 3 groups. And then you take away what you've used. So 71 take away 57 is 14. So that's the remainder. Now, the next part is you bring down the 8. So that joins the 14. Then you ask yourself, how many groups of 19 can I make out of 148? So you look at your list. You say, how many groups can you make? Right, I can make 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I know I couldn't make 8 groups because that would be too much. So what you do is you place the 7 on the top, you've made 7 groups. You take away what you've used. I had 15 left over. And because 15 is less than 19, I know I can't make any more groups, so that's my remainder. Now I'm going to show you this method once more because there's something that you need to remember, which this is where people get caught out with this method. So I'm going to show you one more example, and then if you'd like to practice, you can make your own questions up and either send them to me to check, or if you check on a calculator, it might be different because your remainder won't match the calculator. So maybe I'll post some questions and answers on Teams for you to have a go at if you want to, so let me know. Okay, final one I'm going to show you. 3,451 divided by 17. So you copy that down, and then I'd like you to write down multiples of 17 at the side of your page. Multiples of 10 first, multiples of 7, and then combine. Do that first, please. Okay. So let me show you. So did you get the same as me? 17, 34, 51, 68, 85? Right. So now we look at the first two digits. So we're looking at 34. How many groups of 17 can we make out of 34? Oh, I can make exactly 2 groups. So you place your 2 on the answer line, you've made 2 groups. You take away what you've used, you've got 0 left, no remainder. So copy that down, set it out really clearly. Then, what do you do next? So next, you bring the next digit down. You only bring 1 digit down. So then you say to yourself, how many groups of 17 can I make out of 5? Oh, I can't make any. So, before you bring the next digit down, what have you got to place on the answer line? You've not made any groups, so what digit do you put? You put a 0. Okay, lots of people forget that, you need to do that. Once you've done that, you bring the 1 down, and then you say to yourself, how many groups of 17 can I make out of 51? So you look at your list. 1, 2, oh, exactly 3. So you place your 3 on the answer line, and then you've got a 0 at the bottom, which shows there's no remainder. And that is the end of our long division lesson. And that's our final lesson of this term. So once again, thanks for joining in. Have a lovely holiday, and hopefully see you soon. Bye.